Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Map 1, Mirage, 16-8 in favor of ex-Villainous. Map 2, Ancient, in favor of timbermen, 16-6. Leads us to Map 3, Decider, Vertigo. I'm Pineapple Phillips, joined by Boggs, and looking at the investment, we do see Doolies rearing their ugly heads once more. A pair for Dare, only one pair for the CT side. No kit either, against a spread out set of utility between two players, or essentially two players worth of investments on Noxio and Shutout. Everybody else rocking the Kevlar on this T side. Good flash, Dooley start things off, spamming away, find 1 and 2, lots of damage onto a third. Noxio ends Dare's reign of terror, but the damage more than done at this point. It's gonna be a 3 versus 4 with one player on 4 HP, that's Alvin. Start things off well, cleanly with Snab, and no such luck. 1 for 1, the Flames take him away. Good dink on Detroit, but again, they need to do a lot. Alvin finds 1. Frankie, though, a good trade on the Nox, leaves just Alvin. 4 HP, a pair of Doolies, and a dream ahead of him.
Well, you said they would rear their ugly head. They have at least opened the door for Timbermen, and they will not close it in the favor of ex-Villainous. Timbermen with another pistol round victory. And ex-Villainous unable to even get the bomb down, so they won't be forcing into this round, presumably. Unless they really want to throw the meta for a twist. Looks like they will be on Glocks, though. The dual Berettas will stay in the hands of Shane. MP9 on 3 players. A FAMAS for Frankie. And Dare no utility with the A1S. I'd rather take the MP9 than that FAMAS there, Frankie, so good luck, have fun with that. Snab going to self-flash in towards the ramp, though. Takes a little bit of chip damage, but overall, he's up against Glocks and a P250. So there's not much to worry about here, and Dare can farm 1, and Droid's there for another. It'll be an easy-peasy cleanup job, although I don't know why Dare's trying to steal the money from the MP9 there.
I was going to say, Droid and Dare. Dare's really eager. Daring Droid to shoot him in the back of the head. And again, as you mentioned, it should be the MP9 getting those kills. In fact, I thought it got the first kill.
Same.
It really did look like he should have had that first kill to the right. The second as well, that's the one he did indeed convert upon. But yeah, using the Mac 10 to get those kills would have been far better. Again, double the kill reward when compared to the A1S. 600 when compared to 300. Not a trivial difference. But they keep it flawless. That's, I guess, what's the most important. Villainous. They do finally have rifles on the board. 5 AKs, decent enough utility against the bonus round for Timbermen. That's a good clear. That's a studious clear. Beaky, he had a heck of a map 2. He's hoping to make it a heck of a map 3. Good start dropping the MP9. The issue is the MP9 of Snap finds a trade. Beaky will trade out his teammate, sure, but it already has the makings of a scrappy round, Boggs, and we said we expect this one to be nothing but scrappy.
Only the scrappiest here between Timbermen and ex-Villainous. Pensky lurking up, spots out Dare around the sandbags. He is removed from the equation. All down to Droid and Frankie now. Tensky ready to clear this one up. Has reinforcements up the ramp. Frankie with a dry swing. Takes out 1, dinks another, and half damage, actually more onto Alvin. Lots of damage dealt. This is winnable for Droid, but he might just be calling this one quits and hanging out in spawn. Not a terrible idea considering their economy is not great. That'll be what he's doing. He's going to hang out in T-spawn, maybe go play on the computer a little bit. I don't think ex-Villainous are going to have the wherewithal to hunt. They're probably going to expect a retake, and so they'll sit on site, bail out when it becomes too dangerous for the low HP players. And Beaky will be the last man to stay on site before he too will fade away into the night. Ex-Villainous, though, winning that first gun round, keeping 3 alive is a good start for them. The Timbermen, they can buy up now. They can have the AK in Droid's hands and a couple other guns. Tensky will not swing into T-spawn. The Droid will live. All things considered, kind of an expected round the way it unfurled for both sides.
Not crazy one way or another. It is kind of par for the course. It was a bonus round for Timbermen. Weren't expected to win it. They were expected to do a bit of damage. Ex-Villainous did well to keep a majority of the squad up. 3 surviving. The Droid does bring the rifle into the following, so it gives Timbermen another very solid at-bat. Full M4s and that AK. Utility, not an issue. They have kits as well. They're against a full fleet of AKs on the T side of the equation. Ex-Villainous a little bit more passive in this one. they might just compel Dare into an early fight and an early death.
I like early fights. Not a big fan of the early death thing. Molotov going in, clearing out the back pillar. Bit of utility being thrown towards both sides of the map, as it's a pretty equivalent buy. Slow and steady. No aggression from Timbermen.
Look at the utility.
Not
Nothing.
much for either side.
They have enough for a take on the side of ex-Villainous. They have nothing to stall. No Molotov, one smoke, a couple flashes, and a nade is all that Timbermen have.
Yeah, it's more of a retake setup for them.
Not even a retake. They have one smoke. I guess for the bomb, maybe. But you want more than that. Not going to stymie this take. Frankie in middle will drop Noxia. That was the lurking player. Not enough smokes for this cross. There's none thrown. Tensky does line up too, sure, but the harassment from Shane and Snav does do them in, does maintain the advantage. It leaves Tensky and Beaky on a 2 versus 3, and with Tensky as low as he is it possible? It might just be. Tensky and Beaky won a piece cleanly. If that leaves just Dare in the 1v2. He'll walk onto the scaffolding right into Beaky's waiting arms. That is a round that Timbermen should not be losing.
No, especially with that damage and those initial kills on the cross. Timbermen had it all set up, and yet they can't convert the round in the end. A major shame for Timbermen, a round that they had on not quite a plate, but they had to get up and go to the buffet to grab it. Ex-Villainous rip it out of their hands. A great bit of work between Tensky and Beaky, tied at 5 and 2 on the scoreboard. Incredible individual work from them. Ex-Villainous have tied things up 2-2 early on here on map number 3. Winner takes all now in this series. And again, as we mentioned earlier, a win for Ex-Villainous means that Detonate have clinched a spot in the playoffs. So the Detonate boys watching with very eager eyes. And a nade kill onto Shane. The second one finishes the job. Droid spotted out and removed by Tensky. Beaky and Tensky both keeping pace with each other. Alvin Knox pushing forward. Bomb will go down. Pistols will have nothing to do to impact this round. And Alvin's messy spray will be converted in the end. Tensky with one more. There we are.
What you asked for. They got the bomb plant. They got a clean round with all 5 surviving. They did it as they should. They dotted their I's and crossed their T's. Very well done from ex-Villainous. It is important to note as well that even if Timbermen win this and Detonate don't guarantee themselves a spot, Detonate still have a game versus Timbermen. Still have one more left in the season. As will Timbermen, if I'm not mistaken. So they still have that opportunity.
Yeah.
It just won't be guaranteed.
I'll grab that schedule real quick.
I know they do still have the head-to-head.
Yeah, it would be that game. So basically, winner makes playoffs.
Okay, so that adds a lot of pressure to that last game of the season. So,
I believe. Wait, no, Detonate have 4 wins.
I think it would determine seeding for sure. I think it will drag Timbermen down far enough that they won't affect the seeding.
No, Timbermen have 2 games left.
Do they?
Yeah, after this one, they have 2 games left.
No kit, though, for Timbermen as the take comes through. Smokes for the crossing for ex-Villainous, not quite as of yet. Lots of flashes thrown, but neither side making moves. There is a smoke. It's just very awkward and very deep from the team side. They will press in. Alvin finds the opening. That nade might be good for Tensky. He'll get the bomb plant down as well. Lots of damage onto Frankie, but Dare is the one to strike next. He ties things up at 4. He's dropping Noxio. Alvin does answer in kind. It's back and forth, push and pull. Dare with the op, trying to get forward, trying to find something. He will be gifted something. Frankie as well swings off contact, drops Tensky. This might be what Timbermen need to get back into it. 3 versus 2 as the smoke goes down the bomb. Players will jump around, try to find an angle, and Beaky will find one, dropping the first and Dare, but he still needs more. Come through to find the bomb. Droid falls, and Beaky finds all 3. It is ex-Villainous to continue their tear and now build a lead of 2 rounds.
Great again from Beaky. This time, I believe it was a Tensky again with them. I think it was.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Was that Timbermen? It has to be Timbermen.
No, it's Villainous. It's ex-Villainous.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Calm down the comms. It's been 2 rounds that they've won that they should not have won.
And I think they feel that they're not exactly playing up to their potential right now.
They're getting the nerves, the chaotic comms, which of course there were definitely in that round, out of their system, slowing things down. They want to maintain the pace of the game in and out of the server. I can respect that call. They know they're going to be against a compromised buy. So just slow it down, control your nerves, and look forward. They get the op for Alvin. They pick it up off of Dare's body. Timbermen only have pistols. They have 2 Deagles, a 5.7, make that 2 5.7s, and a USP. Challenge ex-Villainous.
Alvin's op will introduce itself nicely into the round. The duality, I believe, unless I'm getting that one wrong. Or is that the other one that looks kind of similar? Either way, we'll get back to that. As Timbermen, we're back on the half buy, as aforementioned. Shane up on Scaff, not seeing anything. Droid pushing forward. Snav there as well. A convergence of 3 in towards middle. But it's a B take. 4 from ex-Villainous. Creeping up. Beaky leading the charge. Messy spray, but he gets the headshot in the end. Tensky will follow it up nicely. Good flash from Alvin. Shutout opens his account. And Beaky with the finish. Upgraded pistols. Flawless victory for the T side. Good, clean, anti-eco round victory. Precisely what you want to see.
Second clean anti-eco victory.
Yeah, it's great for the T economy. I mean, look at Tensky's bank account. Alvin's at 8K practically. They're looking good.
It's bountiful. I want to see that op that you mentioned. Do you know I beat is it the Prince? Or is it the duality?
Yeah, I think it's the Prince. It's not. I don't think it's a duality because it's red, not pink.
It probably is the Prince. Either way, Dare has it out once again for himself. He'll find the opening onto Alvin. He'll win the op duel in this one, unlike Mirage. That is the Prince, I can confirm. 4 versus 5 secured very early on. Ex-Villainous, they aren't deterred. They aren't going to be turned away. They're going to continue to pressure over towards B. The issue is we still have 2 players present, including that op of Dare, which has awoken. He finds yet another, a second on the player boosted. Tensky caught on an island. Snav shuts down Shutout, lurking around the map. Even just Noxio and Beaky. Beaky will try his hand at the big green. His Dare's rifle from a couple rounds prior. But this seems too far gone at this stage. 2 versus 5. Noxio would have to make a major hero play in this one to get his team back into it.
Not Beaky, 5 360 no scopes. Easy.
Given his performance, it would be possible. I wouldn't doubt it.
Noxio might have found the gap though.
It's a passive hold towards A. They're not playing aggressive hands-on. They have a player underneath the boost. They have a player in towards the elevators / lobby area. It's just Timbermen covering all their bases. There's no weak point. To say Noxio would have to walk through a gauntlet might be an understatement.
It would indeed be an understatement.
20 seconds.
And Beaky's... Why?
It's a good question. Noxio's low on cash. This kind of balances out the economy. He won't get any money, but he won't have to invest either. He has a full belt of utility. I don't know. I feel like they're out of time. They're out of options. Saving isn't terrible. It's definitely not great, but it's not terrible. But I am kind of left scratching my head as you are. Floor spam coming through, not going to land. No chance, Beaky. Timbermen get their third by virtue of time.
First round of the board for Timbermen, and it starts with a nice early pick from Dare with that aggressive off play. Almost throws it away though by going for the repeat, but he backs away. Stays alive. Now, Alvin back on the op. Needs to pick off Dare this time. Shane having a slow start for the Timbermen, 1 and 5 right now, 9 rounds in. Default again from ex-Villainous. Both teams statistically stronger on the CT side of this map. Both around 50% and about 20 to 25% on their T sides. So both teams prefer the defense to the attack, although it's solid. Good flashbang. Oh boy, that's a brutal just destruction of Shutout out towards ramp. And trades are going back and forth, 3v3, but Dare is low. Frankie the close. Alvin caught napping. He's not going to peek at all. He's not going to clear his corner. Frankie with a freebie. And Dare might be low. I don't know if he's going to get caught out, though. Noxio's clearing up, but it's going to be all around the smoke battle here. Whoever runs into the other, these ships in the night will have an advantage, Nox or Dare. Who
So
will
awkward.
get the catch?
Oh, it's gonna be
Frankie's here.
Frankie. Oh,
Wow.
back and forth. It is Noxia to find the win in that chips in the night situation, but Frankie's there as an insurance policy. That was awkward. And this round does at least encapsulate what we were expecting to see. We were expecting a scrappy nonsense game, and that's what this round exactly is. It's been good kills in one direction and then a flurry of frags in the other. It leads us to a very scrappy 1 versus 2 for Beaky. If there was a player you wanted in this situation, it would be him. He does have the bomb on his back, but 1v2 might be too much to ask with just no information on when these players are working.
Molotov buys him time. Counter Molotov's going to reveal Frankie's position, and Beaky gets out of there unscathed. But Droid coming up through the ramp is going to be a hard one to get open. Beaky knife out. Beaky.
There's one player known for unneeded and over-the-top flanks. It is Droid.
Yeah.
So, gotta be expecting that one, my friend. I hate to say it.
Yeah, you really gotta expect that one. I don't know why you'd have your knife out in a 1v2 when they know exactly where you are. But, hey.
Living on the edge.
They still have money. That's the important thing.
It's kind of winding down, though. A couple players are below 2K. In fact, 3/5 of the team is below 2K. Shoutouts below 1K. Alvin's only at 3K. Tensky's the only one with any meaningful bank left after this round. So pressure's beginning to mount. Alvin, this time he will not miss. It's not Dare to greet him, instead it's Shane. That's an easier affair. Op versus rifle. Solid start for the T side of ex-Villainous as they're trying to right their wrongs in the rounds prior. Snab on the ramp has a lot to do. He does have support from Frankie, who's had a solid map thus far, but flashing from ex-Villainous is good. Snab 1 for 1. Beaky gets a trade. Beaky doubles down. A hero in map number 2 and now in map number 3. 14 kills to his name, and that's the A side taken as well. Dare and Droid might not even attempt to retake in this one. It looks like ex-Villainous are going to get a 6th.
They're going for the far out plant, too. It's not going to land in the cone, but still a good outside angle. Very easy to watch for ex-Villainous. Timbermen looking to save in towards T-spawn again. Droid, he's already hung out here once before. Looks like it's going to be his home once more. Did Shutout see them? He definitely knows they're hanging around now. Dare with the headshot, a little bit of overkill there. But I don't think ex-Villainous are going to hunt after that. They don't really have a lot of money. It's just not worth it. That's always worth it, though. Shoot the cones off the map. You know how it be.
Yeah, always gotta be something. The equivalent of a fidget spinner. That's for sure.
There's no soccer ball on the map.
That is unfortunate.
Or
I'm very
football,
sad about
if
that.
you're not from America or Canada.
That is true. But they do say they do scrounge together by Timbermen, but this could be a swing round. No. ex-Villainous do have enough to go for an investment in the following if they lose. Timbermen, though, are on the cusp of being reset. They have one op for Dare. They have rifles across the board, including a FAMAS on Frankie. You hate to see it, but it's an acceptable compromise. Ex-Villainous, do they go for another gimmicky early play? Do they go back to stock standard defaults? Walking out so risky through the smoke, but it works. Tensky moves up behind the smoke. Should be expected, but he'll still win the duel, and that is a big opening netted for ex-Villainous.
Another early pick given up by Timberman, going for an aggressive peek with no one to back him up. Shane the round prior. Snav this time around. Utility flying over. Dare and Droid doubling up through middle, clearing in towards deep walls. Counter utility being thrown to stall off a potential B push, but shutout being a distraction, wasting that utility of the CT side. 4 players running up ramp, throwing their take utility. Smoke's going down, Molotov's going through, flashes ready to rain on high. Tensky dry peek into Frankie's FAMAS. He's going to drop 1 damage onto a second, but Alvin catches Dare peeking over the smoke. Bomb to go down. Droid's flank recovered and discovered by Beaky. And Shane just trying to get out of this one alive. His shutouts on the flank himself, looking for it. Shane will win the fight. Now it should just be Shane staying alive here, listening to music all alone. But Beaky might just go for one more kill. As ex-Villainous look for a 7th, look to grab a lead going to the second half. What would be considered an upset over Timbermen as well if they're able to pull this series off.
A substantial upset as well. Keep in mind their rankings. Timbermen are currently ranked number 93 on a bit of a slide. Ex-Villainous, though, are at number 152. I don't want to do the math.
152.
But it's over 50 is the takeaway there. Closer to 60, actually, ranking position separating these two teams. Timbermen.
Yeah, I can
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
If you want them out. What's the rankings again?
It's 152 ex-Villainous, 93 Timbermen.
59 spots differentiating these two.
Closer to 60, 59. Ex-Villainous call for a timeout. Not sure why. Things have been looking incredibly good for them.
Yeah, I don't know why they're doing that.
Using a lot of proactive timeouts. Some of them have actually looked quite good. But this one does leave me scratching my head. Maybe a new strategy coming through. We'll have to see what they go for. I'm actually hoping to see a new strategy at this point. Timbermen, they've been rather quiet on this map. I will give them the benefit of the doubt, though. Keep in mind that they've made their first roster swap in like 7 months, I think is what the Dust 2 article quoted. So, it makes sense. Even if it's a swap, you should be expecting a honeymoon. Given the fact that that team was together for so long, it does make sense they're going to have some pains here. I'm just hoping they stick with this and they continue to grow. And hopefully hit new ceilings, hit new highs.
That's a good pick by shutout onto Shane. Again, the aggressive peaks from Timbermen are being punished. One at a time they drive deep, getting the shades of what was going wrong on Mirage, and then again, Droid with one snap of the long-range USP kill. The USPs have been something special for Timbermen. Beaky tagged down to about half as well. Droid here with the M4, flashing away behind green. Stuck behind that smoke, and the nade right-clicked in. Just a little bit of chip damage, no cross with the bomb just yet. Beaky takes the fake and grabs the kill. Frankie, last man standing, flanking in from back middle, but might just grab a gun and save. Not a bad idea, all things considered. But ex-Villainous, either time or one more kill away from clearing this half and notching it into their name. 8-4 right now, and 11-4 potential half as well, which would be an absolute astonishing scoreline. Tensky gets caught, but it's a consolation frag.
Is a consolation frag. Economy's probably not going to be a worry for ex-Villainous in the rest of this half. Unless something crazy happens in the next rounds or two. Frankie will be allowed to save, though. He's been a solid rock for this team. Again, the new addition. Second frag currently. Right behind Dare the Opper. Looking at ex-Villainous, it is, of course, the Beaky show. He's at 16-4. That is a crazy stat line from him. Alvin, not doing terrible. Penske's still doing more than enough as well, but it's Beaky, a shining star for the ex-Villainous T side.
Beaky's at a 4.0 KD, and all but one of the rounds he's died, his team has lost.
True hero of this team. The real impact player. Again, this aggression towards the side hole. They've been punished here before. He will. Not taken down. Will he get away? He's going to run the gauntlet. He's actually going to get a second.
Tensky.
No way ex-Villainous overlooked that. Noxio will eventually find the trade, but the damage is done. Noxio has to find a second, has to keep his team in it, but no, he can't get the shot before the player crosses away. What happened there? It looks like the call up the chain was not made. It looks like two players were caught unawares by the exact same player in the exact same position.
That's a sound cue you gotta make after the first kill, too. Dare up on top, though, eliminates Noxio. Droid catches off shutout, and over top, Dare lands one more. Beaky falls. No 11-4. 10-5 now the best case for ex-Villainous. But if Timbermen can win this round, they should have ex-Villainous on the ropes, economically speaking. It would make for an 8-7 half. It's a full investment here from ex-Villainous. The op back for Alvin. Rifles across the board. Timbermen a little bit out of the danger zone economically because of that pretty clean victory in the prior round. Have a little bit of economy to build upon. Alvin just misses that cross. Takes a shot late, backs away, nade goes in, and Tensky eats that for 44 damage. It's a lot of damage taken in from that mid-nade. Beaky up on top! And they are able to escape, just narrowly dodging the clutches of Beaky there. Good flashbang over top. Just couldn't get the execution.
Really like that flashbang. It's very well timed on the peak. I'd love to see that from ex-Villainous, the team play. Getting to factor in. He was very lucky to survive there. Hopped away in just the nick of time. Ex-Villainous. None pressuring towards B. Go towards A. I say that, but they're already doubling back. It looks like a B split is on the cards. 2 towards the middle, 3 towards the B stairs. Droid, though, is set up well with his teammate down below. That's Frankie.
Knox.
And ex-Villainous now are oscillating. 45 seconds left. They keep on going back and forth, waffling between the two opportunities. Knox is spotted in middle during the meanwhile. Is it B? Yes, it is. 3 middle, 2 B stairs, but Frankie getting aggressive, gets the information, finds Noxio, and Droid finds the second. Tensky dispatched. This B split might just be an outright B take for the 2 remaining players. They just contact up, right? Swing, not the kill. There we go. He finds it. Droid finds the second, and Shane the third. It is 6-8. And as you mentioned, 7-8, seeming incredibly likely. His ex-Villainous have been stupefied in the last couple rounds.
I would say it's more like they're in a stupor themselves. Just asleep.
Do you care to guess who called this timeout?
This is a Villainous timeout.
Nope, it's Timbermen.
Oh, there's both. Both teams call timeout here.
Wait, did they both call timeout?
Yeah, they both called a timeout.
That's weird.
Villainous call the first one, Timbermen call one afterwards. I'm assuming that one's a bio break.
We said that, but we've seen so many questionable timeout calls from both teams. Kind of leaves me scratching my head.
The reason that Timbermen call it after the Villainous timeout makes me think it's definitely a bio break because somebody's not back yet.
Or somebody, yeah, somebody left, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. There's the second timeout being called.
Yep.
That would make sense. Ex-Villainous buying whatever they can, scrounging together whatever they can. 2 Tech 9s, 2 Mac 10s, a Deagle. Good utility.
Yeah.
That's something.
But a pretty poor buy.
So, yes, not a lot of something, but it's something.
There's something they can cook with. They have a few ingredients scattered around the pantry. The broth might be a little light, but they could still make a stew out of this.
One thing for sure, they're going to throw in whatever scraps they can find into that stew to really make it worth its while. I'm expecting something quick. I'm expecting something crazy. I'm expecting a bloody battle in this final round of the first half. Will we have a repeat, a three-peat of the very nice scoreline? Or will we have a very tight and contentious scoreline of 7-8?
It would be fitting if it's 7-8 here. Shut up. Okay, buddy. Just to run up the ramp, run into Frankie,
It was a
run
fake.
down the river Styx, and into the realm of Hades. It's a B blitz though overall from the squad, and Shane's gonna just back away, buy a lot of time for his teammates to call the rotation through. The flood of CTs coming back around. Bomb drops forward. Shane and Droid with a couple of kills. Beaky with one, Tensky with another, but it's all down to Beaky. He's been the hero. Can he do it again? Reloads up, gets run down, no scope attempt, one more kill, traded out 8-7 as we go to the final half of this series. See y'all in a bit.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
tightest half scoreline we've seen thus far in this series. 8-7, a very tenuous lead for ex-Villainous as Timbermen make a surprise comeback to stem the bleeding at the end of half number 1. I'm Pineapple Phillips, joined by Boggs, and well, we have a very interesting buy ahead of us. Double dually Super Soldier, Alvin, and Beaky on the CT side. One set of utility actually made that 2 for the T side of Timberman. And it's going to be a very quick, no-nonsense play over towards A, and a full retake setup coming in from ex-Villainous.
Bomb going down already, a victory for Timbermen. Ex-Villainous gonna have to try and fight their way through, but fighting their way through on the pistols hasn't exactly worked out too well for them in the last few pistol rounds they've had against this Timberman side. Dare popping up from the sandbags, actually fights his way out to victory against Alvin. Shutout falls to Snap. It's collapsing as Dare nets 2 more. He's on the hat trick. Beaky last man alive. Dooley's up, and Dooley's down. It's Shane to the smoke. And Timbermen tying things up 8-all against ex-Villainous, who do like the force buy, but I don't think they got enough kills to really go all in on that. We'll see. Ooh, decisions, ex-Villainous, and you only have 1 timeout left, so make sure you use that one wisely. It won't just be the save here. I'll have to buy up in the subsequent round. Gonna be a pistol stacking towards mid. Timberman looking to probe around, not wanting to run into the trap.
Smart call. It is just straight USPs, so if ex-Villainous want a shot at taking down a player, they have to combine fire or find a really lucky double dink at range. It's a slow tread over towards B. Step coming through for Dare. He really warmed up in the later stages of that first half.
Yeah.
3rd time's the charm on the jump up. USPs of ex-Villainous, they should hopefully begin to rotate sooner rather than later. But it looks like they're sticking their ground over towards the middle. They want to catch out the lurk. Fortunately, it does not look like a lurk is occurring.
No Dare lurk.
No Dare, no droid.
Mac 10 kill, easy cash for Snav around the edge of that smoke. The pistols don't really need to hunt for this either. They should just hold as exactly what they're doing. Look for the kills, make Timbermen come to them. Because there's nothing they gain by dying to Mac 10, so at least give yourself some bit of a chance, an opportunity. There with another one as it's down to 2. Make it none. Flawless cleanup here for Timbermen. They grab the lead again for the first time in a while. T-side starting to pick up here for the Timbermen, but it's going to be a buy-up for ex-Villainous now, but no op for Alvin. That's something to keep an eye on. Dare obviously won't have one of his own. It's the bonus round for Timbermen. They've got 2 Galils, they've got an AK, they've got a good amount of utility, they've got a Mac, they've got a couple Mac 10s, and this is all the shapings of a round that's very winnable for the T side.
Does ex-Villainous do well to buy helmets, but they do not do well to buy kits. You hate to see it. Compromises had to be made. It's unfortunate that was one of the compromises chosen. Ex-Timberman. Not ex-Timberman. It's Timberman. They're their own org. Looking to go fast. Droid the 1 lurk. Dispatched. Tensky aggressive for ex-Villainous. Good opening to start things off, but you still need more. Snav negotiating very turbid waters. Will find the bomb plant with no fuss, and this boost up for Beaky and co. Not yielding anything as of yet. Timbermen have set up a very solid post-plant position for themselves.
Yeah, no kid means this retake has to happen now. It is already falling apart. Knox caught off guard. Shane comes in from the side with a brace of his own. Snap for the last as Dare has a pair. 10-8 in the favor of the Timbermen as they continue their march up the 51st floor and into the win column, looking better and better as time goes on. And I was looking back at the standings here, Nate. It would be down to that Detonate versus Timbermen matchup to decide which team makes playoffs.
That is scary.
Unless Team 1 lose their... Wait, no. It's because it's the disconnected disbanding.
Yeah. Does make sense. Very interesting. Pistols for ex-Villainous. Can't really find much of them. Derek going for a clip to 3. Frankie, another Beaky, though, again, just offering up resistance. He's the one shining star for his team. A double kill from a P250 in this round. Timbermen, though, no nonsense, up ahead now by 3 rounds as ex-Villainous finally put a second rifle round on the board. There is no op present either for the CT side, whereas Timbermen have an op of their own in Dare's hands. Match pause called. I'm assuming this has to be a Villainous. Nope, it's Timbermen calling the timeout. Very interesting. They know the ramifications of this one. They know if they win this, they have ex-Villainous broke, and they know they can run away with it. They know how important this round is.
Oh boy, Timbermen calling a timeout now. They've definitely dived into their timeout box now, and it's good to see that they are finally starting to use what's available to them, the resources at hand. And they know what happens, too, if they win this matchup. And what happens if they lose. They control their own destiny right now. Ex-Villainous. They will not have to get insta-relegated. They know that they won't get insta-relegated. But they'll still pretty much likely have to play in the relegation tournament, regardless of whether or not they win or lose. Of course, you want to win as much as possible. Nobody likes losing that gets to this level of Counter-Strike. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I don't think anybody likes losing in general.
Yeah, there are people who don't care, that are apathetic to it. People with no competitive spirit. They do exist. They just don't get to this level of any sport or esport.
And difference has no place here. Apathy either. Or a case in the op, we do have that for Dare. Versus full A1Ss. There is a kit for Beaky. There's a decent bit of utility left as well. Question is, can ex-Villainous rebuke this take? Economy's already becoming significant for Timbermen. Ex-Villainous have to put their foots down sooner rather than later.
Utility flying in. Molotov takes the A side. Shutout peeks around. Traded out nicely by Snav. Good utility to counter this take by ex-Villainous. It's not too late. Snav burns down to half. Has to expend a smoke. Nade from Alvin will do some more damage. And that's going to land right on Snav. No bomb plan. It's denied. Alvin traded out by Frankie, but he's down low to 4 HP. 3v3 on the retake. But utility's gone, and so is Tensky. A blind Dare calls his bluff. The push coming through, and it's Dare with 2. Droids the last, 12-8. Timbermen on the fast track now, gaining more and more steam. Only 1 timeout for ex-Villainous. You have to assume it'll be used for the following round. Ex-Villainous should be going for a half here, not a full investment. They should call a timeout going into round 22. That will be their 4th and final timeout. And there will be what will be settled. Essentially, it'll settle this whole entire matchup, because this has devolved into a best of 1. It all comes down to Vertigo.
Divine intervention for Dare, though. It's a completely blind shot on that player dropping down. I really liked the retake setup from ex-Villainous. They hands-offed. They went ahead and used the utility. They dropped the bomb planter with the nade. I really liked what they had going for themselves. But then the op of Dare finds one, fully blind, finds a second on a repeak, and then Droid seals the deal. Op of Dare is one to open this round as well. He's at 25 kills. We mentioned he should begin to wake up. He's one of the best operators in ECL and has been thrown around more than a couple times thus far this season. Miff to Molotov will be redeemed. 4 versus 3 though, and the whole rotation has come through. Is that it? A Miss Molotov? No, that is a lineup. Perfect. Beaky though, that won't stop him. He'll drop Dare, he'll drop the op, and now things can get interesting.
But he
The
can't
op isn't.
recover.
That's a good point. Doesn't matter. Shut out on the MP9. Moves in where that Molotov faded. Alvin drops Shane. It's just Droid 1v3. He'll find the first. He'll find the second. Can he find the third? Alvin, he's found the upgrade, but with his positioning known and no helmet, that's actually an inconsequential thing. 31. He's going to walk into it. Alvin is holding the angle, and Alvin wins it. That is a round that ex-Villainous should not be winning.
No, not at all. No, that is not a round ex-Villainous have any business winning. But timbermen, they go for the fights. They lose them to the pistols. And ex-Villainous have gained some life. Alvin rectifies his previous transgressions of the clutch on Ancient. And Timberman now only with a 3-round lead. No op for ex-Villainous. They want utility, although Alvin theoretically, he would have had to sacrifice the util. I can see why they forego the op, but Dare has definitely turned it on. 25 and 12 for him. But Timberman's money is actually in a weird spot because Dare is broke now. Everybody else around the 2K mark or above, Joy at 4,200. And ex-Villainous have spent a lot of their utility very early on. We haven't even passed the minute 15 mark, and they're already done with half of their flashbangs and only 2 Molotovs left. It's going to come down to the firefights again. Timbermen have had the better of them in a lot of these rounds. Not a good situation to find themselves in for ex-Villainous. And Timbermen are more than fine burning down the clock, because once they come to the side explosions, they've been more than lethal.
Very lethal. That's a perfect timing for Frankie. He's been the one lurking on this map, and I must say, he's having far more effect than Droid did on the perfectly timed there. Snav jumping up, snaps to the head of Shutout up top of the box. NC now has to do a lot. 2 is not even enough. Let's say 3. He finds the first. He needs more, though. Instead, he'll just fall away through the flames, barely surviving. Barely scrape it by. Molotovs will keep the CTs at bay, and the plant will come through. ex-Villainous, how do you retake this?
You started off with a nade kill, which is impossible, and it's just a bit of chip damage, and they think it's impossible to retake the round. So they're going to fall away and save, which isn't a bad idea, but it also puts Timberman 3 away from sealing the series. It's a pretty rough situation here for ex-Villainous after the back of that half-by victory.
It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation.
Oh, yeah. It's a no-win situation. It's a certified Kobayashi Maru.
Rock in a hard place.
Frying pan in the fire.
I can't think of any more.
I can't either.
Dang, I lost it by a hair's breadth. 3 will survive. Timberman more than happy conceding that. Keeping 4 alive. As we mentioned, 3 rounds away from cementing this series in their favor. It has gone the distance. Keep in mind, map 1, Mirage, 16-8 in favor of ex-Villainous. Map 2, Ancient, Timberman's pick, 16-6 in their favor. And now map 3, with Timberman at a 4-round lead and ex-Villainous on the cusp of being sent to a loss.
Alvin pushing aggressively with the op. Dare might just run into him. Alvin holds his nerve, spots the elbow, takes half damages. Dare's shot first. But unlike Han Solo, he missed.
I was waiting for a Star Wars reference. I knew that was coming as soon as I heard that. Knew it was coming. 5 versus 4. Timberman negotiating a disadvantage situation for the first time in quite a while. B is going to be the name of the game. There are 2 players waiting and ready. This first one is shut out. He's had a nice off angle. Avoided the utility dump thus far, and there's the lurk. This time it will not have nearly the same effect. Frankie dispatched. Timberman now left without a clear direction in mind. They were throwing utility towards B. They're already second guessing it. Player going up the ladder now towards middle is Snav. Bomb in Shane's hands. Just oscillating between middle, between A, and between B.
And at this point, it almost seems like they've made up their minds to save, because they have no end goal in sight. Time is ticking down to about the 30-second mark. They have to make a decision. They have to make one soon. Snav's got the op, and I think it's going to be a save call from Timberman. They don't want to move from spawn. They're conceding the round. It's a tactical withdrawal for sure, but one that'll give ex-Villainous some extra money and a bit of life.
It's a big one. Can't believe they're saving this in a 3 versus 5.
Counter-terrorists win.
It feels like we're watching South American Counter-Strike right now.
It does.
Lots of T-side saves.
Lots. So the early game clearly defining a lot in this series, or in this game, this final map. There. Still has the op in hand. And keep in mind, he is the top of the server at 25 kills. He's been quiet in the last couple rounds. Alvin, the one to silence him.
If you ain't Russian, you ain't trying.
It's true. It's the mantra of South America as well, as we mentioned. A lot
And
of the
this
hinges
game.
on... Yeah, this game. Op spots one, doesn't get the kill though. That's all the information ex-Villainous wanted. No early kills on this one.
Timbermen have had the advantages in the rounds where there's no early picks. Going all the way back to Mirage. The slower the pace, the better Timbermen have a chance. And Noxio caught off by Dare, who starts to wake up a little bit again. It's the spark for the Timbermen. Tensky removed by Snav as well. The Timbermen. They might be starting the fire. Finally burns them all the way to victory. 3v5 ex-Villainous. Have to take a play, have to make a gamble. It's going to come down to an individual. Beaky is alive. There is that. But can't just be all Beaky. He needs help. He needs a friend. He needs someone to lean on, Nate.
So what happened last 3v5? It was a complete save. This time around, they won't be given that luxury. They'll walk into it. The stack will pay off, or will it? The op of Alvin's caught looking. Shane takes him down. Dare drops Beaky and leaves just shut out. He's been shut out of this map thus far. A 1 versus 5 is the call to action. And this one he might just be trying to save the op rather than trying to trifle with the round. He'll do exactly that. The Prince in his hands. Question is, will he be allowed to save? I don't think he will.
No
There
save.
we go. Nope. Alright, shot. The map's so small, the rotations are so quick, there's already a flank coming through. 14 to 10. Timberman penultimate series point here at long last on map number 3. Ex-Villainous. What is the investment? It's pretty solid all around. 3 M4s and op for Alvin. Iki also gets an M4 in hand. There's a kit. There's utility. Covering all their bases. Timberman, though, they just look to cut above, especially with Dare hitting shots as he is.
This is the Dare that we were expecting to see from map 1. We didn't really get to see it until now. He had a pretty mid performance on map 1, pretty quiet on map 2. And he's gonna run down Tensky with the Tech 9 out there. That's a good fast little pick, as Timbermen looking to sprint towards victory. 2 more rounds required for them. Ex-Villainous really losing their footing here. They're almost down to a singular handle. Noxio spotted and dealt with accordingly. Frankie sprays away for more, can't get the kill. The nade will not follow it up, as he's already gone in front of it, trying to close that gap. Shane making a little bit of noise, trying to catch him off towards Afe. Beaky not expecting Frankie at all. Alvin a little bit late to the party, and already a 5v2 in the favor of Timbermen. They are almost there to a 15-10 shutout. Can't hit the ladder parkour perfectly enough. Droid with the finisher, and Alvin with a long time to try and survive. It's not very likely. In fact, I don't think it's possible.
No shot. We'll get one. Should we dance up and down too? They're making him dance the jig. Squeezing him in slowly but surely. Alvin found 2. A third not meant to be. Dare finds him from the back lines. He was the flanker through B. And that is 15 secured. Ex-Villainous, they've completely fallen by the wayside now. As what, 3 rounds that have gone completely unanswered at this point? Very well done from Timberman.
This last-ditch buy for ex-Villainous is pretty pitiful, Nate. Double MP9s, a FAMAS, a 5.7, and a Deagle. And a fast-paced play from Dare, the flash from Snav, the opening on this shutout, a push down A ramp, and a mow down from Frankie. Actually only gets 1 out of that. There's an opportunity. The bomb going down on B means that opportunity is all but squandered. The lurk has sold. It's got its kill. side open, and Peaky shotgun into a rifle. Actually, hasn't got the upgrade here. Still the bomb time. Alvin and Noxio heard by Roy. He's got one. Snav has the next. All down to Peaky. He's been the hero. This might be a task too far, too tall for him. He jumps up, holds his line. No kit. He has no time. It's all but over. He might get one. He does get one. He certainly doesn't have the time to win this. It's going to be a 16-10 for the Timbermen. Peaky with no chance, no time. And that is all she wrote for ex-Villainous here. It's Timbermen to take it, and they control their own destiny moving forward. One more game. It's against Detonate. They win it, they make playoffs. They lose it, Detonate makes the playoffs. That's a game I want to see. I want to cast that game.
Yeah, lots of implications in that game. Now, as we mentioned, as we hyped at the start of this one, if ex-Villainous took this one, it would be Detonate